Hey, what's going on, y'all? Sam the Slam here, back once again for another Slam to Movie review. And I'm feeling pretty shitty and crappy today. Irritable bowel syndrome sucks. Other than that, I've been trying to distract myself. I've been drinking some water, Pepto. But I just got done, I did the American Pie, Band Camp, and I did a bunch of horror movies. And I'm right back into more of a thriller, more of it's horror, but more of a thriller horror, kind of action, kind of thriller horror. Not really action, suspense horror, but it's 1977's Rituals, or also known as The Creeper. This film I've been waiting to watch. I've been dying to watch. Rambo Rat for Life. He's a YouTuber, one hell of a reviewer, one of the best reviewers ever. Full in Depth. Definitely, if you watch my video, you definitely see that. Rambo Rat for Life, like Rambo from First Blood, Sylvester Stallone. Rambo Raph, R-A-P-H. That's Raphael from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But for life, check him out on YouTube. Outstanding. He's been doing reviews for for a long time. Keep up the fucking good work, man. But I saw him. He did a review of this, I think a couple years ago, or maybe last year too. And I wanted to see it because I seen Deliverance, a 1972 film with John Voight and Burt Reynolds, and I saw that flick. And then this one is kind of like it's the Canada's version. This is a Canadian horror film directed by Peter Carter, and without a doubt, this film is very suspenseful. 100 minutes long. Doesn't really get boring. You want to keep going on with this film. He just keeps going on. But with the killer here, when it's just like it's the reverse of a Jason. Jason has a. This guy, he barely. You get a full. You see him in a full silhouette, like from a far distance. And he's also. But the music, because he's. It's this weird coincidence. But what made this fucking movie stand out was Hal Holbrook's performance in this film. And the first film I ever watched with Hal Holbrook was The Fog. And then I watched Creep Show back a long time ago, and he was in it. Not really interested in watching a Creep Show, either that or one or two. I've seen them before. I don't really care. Well, maybe I will in the future. Maybe that'll be a movie for me and Sparky to watch. But Hal Holbrook, it's just outstanding. I liked him in this shit. He gets to his fucking breaking point, like at the very end of the film, fucking nonstop. But I definitely recommend this film. This is definitely an underrated classic. I fucking love the 70s. Movies in the 70s or something. Even I like the 80s. I love the old movies back in the day. I had a friend, my friend Josh, he's like a brother to me. Like, you ever watch movies back in the day? No. You're older. It's some people are not like me. I love to watch films and just talk about them and whatnot. But this right here, outstanding. The plot is there's these doctors, and they go on this camping trip in Northern Ontario. Obviously, they do this every year. Each doctor has its own place. Oh, we're gonna go here. And next year, they probably did like a rock paper scissors or whatever thing. Oh, where are you gonna take us next year? Well, they just go on this camping trip, and then some motherfucker steals their fucking boots, and that just starts it. And it's pretty cool because it's with Harry as Hal Holbrook. You got Martin is played by Robin Gunnell. Who the fuck was Abel? Abel must have had to been. Maybe it was Matthew. I don't know. Yeah. There was 5 guys, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, because there was Abel, DJ. There was 5 guys. It was Harry, Mitzi, Martin. Well, it's cool too, by the way, because when I'm watching this flick, when I first watched his first 10 minutes of this film, Mitzi's character, when I'm looking at Mitzi, because it's, I recognize this guy's voice, and I'm looking at his face, and I'm like, this guy looks like the senator from National Lampoon's Senior Trip from 1995. Probably one of my favorite films of all time. Actually, I did the video. If you guys want to see the review, go into my playlist on my youtube.com/SamToSlam. Go to my playlist and go to Sam and Sparky Reviews. Me and my buddy Sparky did this review. But he's old as shit, you know. But back then, Lawrence Dane, never knew his name. I mean, but that was him. He plays, I mean, you know, he's a friend, but he gets to this point where he don't give a fuck about nobody but himself. Martin, you know, he plays the drunk, the alcoholic. DJ plays Martin's brother. And Abel plays the guy in that. He's basically the lackey. He's just. Make story short, his death was shitty. His death was stupid. Falling off, I mean, they all fall off a damn hill and shit. And maybe he hit a fucking big rock in his chest, maybe got a heart. I don't know what happened, but yeah. So yeah, someone steals these for the spoilers, before I go for the spoilers, which I just said, someone steals their boots. I definitely recommend this film for the nostalgicness, and also, this is rewatchable. I want to rewatch this again because the way I found this film, I didn't find it on no stream site or not. I found it on YouTube. Out of all places, YouTube had this movie. Shitty quality, but it was maybe 340, 460, or I don't know. But I mean, it was shitty kind of quality because some of the scenes I couldn't see much. But it's like, you know, I would like to have this film maybe in my collection, or just try to see it and watch it and just get a DVD, or just try to watch it again. But I like this film. I definitely recommend it, and it's definitely rewatchable, bar none. But yeah, let's just go to the spoilers here. We talk about now here. But if you want to see, it's a very suspenseful, out in the woods, and yeah, and there's some fucking crazy killer. Well, there's two people. Well, one that you find out, which I thought was the killer at first. No, it's what's that fucking word? It's well, they're like these hermits. I don't know, but what's good for the spoilers? It's these doctors, and it's just they trip. They camp out, and one of them has a fucking blow-up doll. Yeah, you're gonna fucking fuck the blow-up doll while your fucking buddies are in the tent with you. But someone takes their boots, and like the ritual name, you know. Then they find out this fucking deer carcass with a snake going up it and shit. It's very suspenseful and shit, and then they fucking. Well, then out of nowhere, DJ says, "You know, I'm gonna find the dam." Why would you go by yourself in a place that you have never fucking been to, unless if I didn't hear it all? Maybe it was his time he picked it out. I don't know if he picked maybe he did the location because Martin said he wouldn't do that to us. Yeah, he just goes off, and then maybe the first 30 minutes or something like that, he just goes off and vanishes and shit. And then you see Abel's death, which they got carried away. Oh no, yeah, because this fucking creeper, where the fuck it was, mountain man, hermit, whatever the fuck, he takes down a fucking damn beehive. It makes them go crazy. And they go down it's down like a hill. And they get in some of the water. Well, Abel, they just took a picture about his kids and shit. And it just sucks. He died. Martin goes crazy, and then they're just survival. They're trying to survive and shit. And then I love the scenery, and the music was by Haggard Hardy. It was okay, you know. The score was all right, you know. Just like I said, like when you see the killer and he's stalking him and need brightness. When the killer is just, what the fuck's he doing? He's just like, it's just music is weird. It's different like that. But yeah, they keep going, and then there's all these scenes of survival, and Lawrence Dane's character, Mitzi, is just like, come on, let's get the fuck out of here, you know. Well, there is a scene when they're in the fucking they're in the damn flood, or they're in the currents, where they're trying to get past it. And then there's a bear trap. And once I saw that bear, because, well, Harry's got a stick trying to figure out there's something here, but there was a ton of fucking bear traps and shit galore in the fucking, the currents. And when I saw that, I'm like, oh shit. And Martin gets it. And, oh man, you just feel so shitty for him. And I think they had to amputate his foot, I think, or break it, or something just to, I don't know, but he's the alcoholic and he drinks, so now they have to drag him everywhere they go. And it just gets him, that gets you to the point of, like, like Lawrence Staines, Mitzi's, like, kind of getting selfish, like, fuck him, he's gonna fucking die anyway. And then there's a little scuffle between Mitzi and Harry, and then they just leave Martin to lay up the current. And then he's in shock. So they have to carry his lifeless body, pretty much. And Harry says, we're not going to do that to him. We're going to follow him with us. And it's unbelievable. It keeps going on. It's like a 100-minute film, like I said. It keeps going. And you're like, well, what's going to happen now? They better get their comeuppance, because I thought, like, everybody's going to die. Especially in the last fucking 10 minutes of the film. But then there's a crossroads at the mountain, which they see their friend, I think it was Abel's head and a stick, like an Indian, like on a fucking his head, and because they woke up, he's just toying with us. What the fuck, And then they reached, because they were supposed to reach at this dam or something to get picked up, I think, because they got dropped off by the airplane guy, or the guy that gave them a ride early in the film, to their destination, to Canada or whatever, Ontario. But at the fucking last fucking minute, Mitzi just goes off on his own and says, fuck you, Harry. Harry gets upset and shit. But then throughout the film, they see the silhouette, like far along the mountains and shit, is the fucking creeper, the douchebag, the killer, and shit. It's like, man, this fucking guy is just wants to kill. He's just toying with you before he kills you, And then we get to the ending point where Harry finds his house, this little cabin and shit, and then you see this fucking guy come in with this. I'm like, this is the killer, and he gave him a good old axe shot. He's like, oh, and then I just look over at him and the axe. Come on! He's just so pissed off. His breaking point. You're gonna kill me. I'm gonna kill you first. But then you find out his name was Jesse, played by Jack Cradley, old fucker. He's blind, and he wasn't the killer. His brother is the hunter. And this guy was a fucking. And then the thing is, Mitzi's end up alive. The fucking creeper got him, and he gets burned alive. How he should have. Harry could have did something. He could have saved him, but at the time, because he's like, shut up. He thought maybe he was just tied up, but no, he was burned alive. He sees that, and he's just upset. And then the fucking creeper is the brother, Jesse. His name, I think it was Matthew, or whatever, and. Because he looked in the cabin there, he was a World War II veteran or something. But then again, there's also the story. Wikipedia. I'm gonna have to watch Rainbow Raft's fucking full review of this, because I've only seen a little bit, because I didn't want to watch all of it until I watched the film, because he does outstanding reviews. He says he's not fucking entertained. He's fucking entertaining. He's one of the best. But when this guy because they say in the film that he left his dad out in the wilderness or something. I don't know if this was his dad, because he looks at him. I love the shotgun. Come on, he shoots and breaks the fucker's hand, and he comes up and he's like this half blinded, half hair, and I think because he's looking at the World War II, he's looking at in the cabins, like these medals and shit. He's a veteran, early PTSD here. He thinks this is my turf. They're on my turf. I'm going to kill them all. But he gets him with that fucking. I love the fucking boom, boom, boom. Fucking outstanding. And he ends there and he survives. Mitzi had the most brutal death because he was burned to fuck alive. The weak death, Abel's death, falls down a fucking cliff or whatever. And they all fell. But oh yeah, before that, when they're up in the mountains in the cliff area, they find DJ. Martin's brother, who's dead. Well, actually, he's castrated, like, but he can't. But he's barely alive. But Harry has to fucking sacrifice him, or just because he don't want to leave him like that. But he ends at the sunlight, and we don't know that they got picked up or not. I mean, but I tell you what, Hal Holbrook's character was a fucking badass. You know, before Rambo or like First Blood. Well, I don't know if that's another. I don't know if that's a fucking influence, but like Predator and all that shit. I mean, this is a motherfucker you would want to have against any damn serial killer in the fucking world. But I fucking enjoyed this film so much. I love the old movies. It's so good. But I definitely recommend it. Definitely watchable. I don't do letter grades. I tried doing letter grades or number grades. Or I just say, you know, I like this film. I definitely will watch this in the future again. But, yeah. I'm going to get the fuck out of here, guys. But I'm STS. Thank you for watching the Slam Movie Review. Next, coming up, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing next. I get my son in a couple of hours. So when I get my son, I really don't have time because my girlfriend also, she works at 4 o'clock and 4:30 in the morning. And I try to watch a movie. I try to watch 2 movies a day, if not 1. If I do watch a movie, it'd be tonight at 9. But if not, oh well, I don't know. And plus, when I upload these, it takes for a minute because I have to do the thumbnail maker. And plus, I have no computer, nothing, or a tablet to edit my shit, except right here. But I have to go all the way to my parents with this old Windows XP shit. So, and I'm trying to save up for a laptop or a netbook, just something just to type and fucking drag. That's just I love. The touchscreen's okay, but be on the lookout for more of the American Pie Presents sex films. Porky's series is going to be coming up soon. Jason Voorhees, New Beginning. The Friday the 13th series, and we got Freddy. So yeah, but I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. Peace.